Alright, hello. We're back with Tate time on Tuesday, February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day to all of my favorite kiddos at Kip Intrepid. I hope you guys are doing well and having a wonderful day so far. Alright, so let's check out this problem together. Jacob plays on the basketball team. In 2 games, he scored 2/7 of the total number of points his team scored. His team scored 49 points in the first game and 35 points in the second game. What was the number of points Jacob scored in these 2 games? So, as you guys know, Jacob G is a baller, an all-star. He was on the basketball team with Mr. Natton, and we're trying to figure out how many points he scored out of his team's total. So, let's underline the question. What was the number of points Jacob scored in these 2 games? So we're only thinking about Jacob, and for the 2 games. Check. Then it says, let's box the numbers in units. So, I know that he scored 2/7 of the total. And his team scored 49 in the first game and 35 in the second game. Okay. Hopefully you should notice something in common with this number 49 and this number 35. And that's going to make this problem a lot easier to attempt. So let's check it out. Let's draw a diagram. Let's do one for game 1 and one for game 2. Okay. So for game 1, the total that the team scored was 49 points. And I know that to figure out Jacob, he scored 2/7 of that total. So I want to split the 49 into 7 equal groups. So I'm going to make this 7s. I know that 7s don't have a line down the middle because 7's an odd number. And then I have to put 3 lines on these other sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow, Miss Tate just did not do well. That's why we have grit and try again. Wow, Miss Tate. Struggle monkey. Alright, try that again. Whew, 7s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Beautiful. Okay, so we know that Jacob scored 2/7 of the team's points. So I know he scored less than half, but he still did a pretty good job. So, I need to think about what number can I count by to get to 49 when there are 7 pieces here. So I'm asking myself, 7 times what makes 49? Well, 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49. So I know that each one of these is actually going to be over 7, because 7 sevens is 49. And 2/7 of 49 is 14. So this means that Jacob scored 14 points in game 1. Just to make sure that I check it, I can check this with equivalent fractions. So this means he scored 14 49ths. And if I check it with 2/7, 2 times 7 is 14, and 7 times 7 is 49. So I know that that's correct. So Jacob scored 14 for game 1. But we don't just want to figure out game 1, we also want to figure out game 2. So for the second game, the total was 35 points. So I should know that Jacob's going to score a little bit less since his team's total was a little bit less. So let's hope Miss Tate can do this correctly, because last time I screwed it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? And remember, I'm splitting it into 7ths because my fraction is 2 out of 7. And we know that our denominator describes the total number of pieces in one whole. So, this is now going to be 35. And so now I have to ask myself, 7, because that's my denominator, times what equals 35? So what number can I skip count by 7 times to make 35? The number you should be thinking of is 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So I know 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. And I'm going to use 2/7 of that. and 2 7s of 35 is 10. Let's check it again. 10 out of 35 is hopefully the same thing as 2 7s. 7 times 5 is 35, and 2 times 5 is 10. Beautiful. So together, Jacob scored 14 points in game 1 and 10 points in game 2. I need to bring those two numbers together because it says what is the total he scored in those 2 games, and I should get 24. Okay, so I drew a diagram, I solved, I checked it by checking my equivalent fractions and seeing that the correct answer should be 24. Next thing I'm going to do is fill in my griddable, 24 whole points. You can't really score a fraction of a point or a decimal of a point in basketball, so we get 24. Let me just recap that pretty quickly. We know that his team scored 49 points and 35. So for game 1, 49 was the total. For game 2, 35 was the total. We split that into 7s because it told us that he scored 2 out of 7 points. So for every 7 points, he scored 2 of those points. So I can count by 7s until I get to 49, and that makes 7. If we have 7 groups times 2, that makes 14. We can see that here. Just like over here, 7 times 5 is 35. Each group was worth 5, and 5 times 2 is 10. Bring those numbers together, and we get 24. Please take your paper now, flip it over to the back, and check out Rara. Rara loves to play some baseball, and he scored 2/5 of the total run. So think about what that means for him. Good luck, and take your time, please. Happy Valentine's Day.